Let's go White Sox, and I can eliminate an image from our list here. Here's an image of the three of us.
Sexy
on our bobblehead night right after throwing the first pitch. And we are accompanied by one Grant Taylor. Fresh off injury, Grant Taylor.
So excited to
pitched
see
well down the stretch. Now, my question for you guys is about Grant Taylor. Do you want Grant Taylor to return to the big league bullpen to start the 2026 season? Or would you prefer the White Sox go back to the drawing board and try to make him a starter, even if that means he's starting the year in the minors in 2026? MSS will go to you first. What do you think? What would you like them to do? Not what do you think they should do. What would you like them to do? Because I'm sure they've got a path, but we should talk about this because I've seen people say the answer is basically yes, they should go back to making him a starter. I'm not sure. Then we should discuss.
I don't think so. Because there's a reason why they brought him up, right? Like they brought him up in that capacity because he's like not a failed starter, right? Wasn't he was struggling.
He just struggled.
And he achieved some moderate
The thing too, that's one of the reasons they brought him up was health wise. They felt like they could keep him healthier in that role. And so yeah.
Well, so we can have both, but let's just say no. You start off the way you were, and maybe we try to stretch you. Like we're gonna need you to go a little bit extra here because you had success doing something. We shouldn't just pivot away from it and say do what you think you should do now. We're like, no, you had success doing this. Let's replicate that again, and then just try to inch it, and then this bitch get a little more. You know, like we did with fucking Garrett Crochet, and that fucking turned out great. So let's do that.
Teresa, what do you think?
Loco's hitting.
I think the argument would be that like the value of him being a starter is much higher. Like if they can convert him to a starter, it's a lot higher value. The question I would have is, were they serious about the health thing or were they just trying to rush him to the majors? Right? Like, so I think it's, if they do say this year, hey, he's going to be a starter, I'm going to have to go back and go, well, you had a serious case of full of shitness last year then. Right? Like it's like,
right.
And so I'm wondering like how much of that was like bluster to just try and get him to the big leagues quicker because they like the arm, and how much of it, or that his agent was being a prick, or which I appreciate. Good on the agent. Get him that money.
Get him there.
But I think it depends on if they really believe that he can be healthy as a starter. You would probably take that risk. You're not going to be a great team this year, right? Like so, try and turn it around, try and turn him into a starter, because that was my complaint last week, right? When it's like, where are all these pitchers coming from? Where are all these starting pitchers coming from? If you're going to keep whirling through these guys and doing all this, you need that extra arm in there a lot. Bullpen you could kind of fill in with free agents. I don't advise it, but at the same time, the thing is, beef, is how long would that take? Because if health is an issue, right, then they're going to baby the shit out of him like they've done with Schultz, right?
Yep. Right.
So it's like, okay, well, great job last year, Grant Taylor. We'll see you in 2 years. And like, can we just have a fucking reasonable team out there for a while? So I think I'd rather have him in the pen if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about this too from all these different angles as well, and I think I fall in line a little closer to more what MSS was saying. Is like there was some success in the bullpen, especially in that last couple weeks of the season. He had been up and down in the earlier parts in the bullpen, and then he kind of straightened out. He was really good at the end. I would like some sustained success in this role, in this job, in this position that you chose for him, and then maybe you can make a decision kind of later on. I would think next year is a year where you still leave him in the bullpen, let him try to get comfortable there, let him be a guy that can be used in leverage. I think the Crochet thing was different because your backs were against the wall. You were going to trade Crochet anyway. If the starter thing didn't work, who gives a fuck? You're going to put him in the bullpen, and then you're going to trade him anyway. He was gone. He was kind of like, we're getting the guy out of here. This is like the transitional thing, whereas you have a lot more time with Taylor here.
Yes.
And so that's what makes either move reasonable to me. I wouldn't have a problem if they said, okay, well, we're bagging the bullpen thing. But I would like to see him in the bullpen. I think he could be one of these guys who's a star in the bullpen. Let's make him that first before we fuck around with anything else.